Good morning. Today is Thursday, June 5th, and this is Wake Up with KERA News. I'm Andrew Garcia. It's a bit foggy in parts of North Texas this morning, but we should see some more sun later today. Highs will be in the upper 80s. The largest fan convention in Texas came to Dallas this past weekend. Coming up, we'll hear all about the creative costumes from the fans themselves. But first, let's get into today's news. The Justice Department is suing the state of Texas for giving in-state tuition to students without legal status, which they say violates federal law. The practice has been in place for decades, allowing undocumented students to pay in-state tuition if they meet certain residency requirements. Nearly half of all U.S. states follow this practice today, but Texas was the first to implement it back in 2001. And get ready to pay a bit more on the North Texas toll roads. At the beginning of July, toll tag holders can expect to pay 22 cents per mile, up from the current 21 cents. Zip Cash customers can expect to pay double that. The increase is part of a scheduled adjustment. The NTTA evaluates toll prices every 2 years to keep up with financial and infrastructure demands. The Mega Convention Fan Expo brought together enthusiasts of anime, fantasy, comics, sci-fi, gaming, and more for 3 days in Dallas last weekend. KERA producer Therese Powell and I were there for opening day and spoke to some of the hundreds of fans dressed up as their favorite characters.
I am dressed as Ray Stantz from Ghostbusters.
I am dressed as a Tusken Raider, technically a Tusken from The Mandalorian.
Captain America, Steve Rogers.
Amy Rose.
So, Andrew, this was my first time at a fan convention, but you've been to some before, right?
Yeah, I've been to some, but never as big as Fan Expo, and I've certainly been out of the comic book game for a few years now.
Oh, come on. You know more than you're admitting. You could name just about every single character that we saw.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do know the difference between Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate.
Well, my qualifications begin and end with the Archie's comics, so you got me there.
Well, you do know Ghostbusters, though, don't you?
Yeah, sure. Everybody does, right?
Certainly. Everybody does, including Erica Beasley, who was dressed in a very elaborate Ghostbusters costume, complete with a functioning proton pack, and Erica said she'd been working on it for months just to get it ready for the event.
I basically gutted this entire proton pack and redid the inside, so it has custom lighting, custom sounds, and stuff like that.
And Erica's wasn't the only costume that had the bells and whistles. Taylor Limbre's version of a Tusken Raider from The Mandalorian was equally impressive. He had a custom-made mask that was actually a little scary, long brown robes, a staff, and this high-tech finishing touch.
Built a contraption where I have buttons on my hand. I have 4 different sounds here that I plugged in that I got from a soundboard. Hit a button and it makes noise, and I don't have to go hoarse going all day long.
So, Andrew, the Star Wars characters and the superheroes, they're pretty easy to pick out.
Although you did think Taylor's Tusken Raider cosplay was Gandalf at first.
Well, you know, with the robes and the staff and everything, it's an easy mistake to make. But I got to say, one of my favorite costumes at the event was worn by 16-year-old Ava Williams. She was an explosion of pink as a hedgehog carrying a giant hammer.
She was cosplaying as Amy Rose from Sonic. Ava was there with her dad, Shane.
It's a tradition for us every year. It's like her Super Bowl for the whole year.
I love the challenge it comes with it. I love seeing the end product so much. That's how I looked at myself in the mirror today. It's just, I'm so proud of myself for what I did, how I'm doing, and I love seeing my progress over the years and everything.
And just like you, Therese, we found a Fan Expo first-timer, Russell Lopez.
I'm really a fan of the movies and the comics. So, yeah, I have never been in an expo like this.
He explained why he chose to dress as Captain America.
I really like all the honesty, He's always for the good, for the greater good.
And the greater good was on the mind of a lot of cosplayers, not just Captain America. Groups like the North Texas Ghostbusters use their cosplaying prowess to raise money for charity.
Yeah, a lot of people mention that the community aspect is why they do it. Not only does cosplay connect them to characters from a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, it also connects them to their fellow fans.
Taylor Limbry, our friend the Tuscan Raider, puts it this way.
It opened up the door for a very lush world of characters that all have backstories, and it kind of reminds me while I'm walking around, I see other people that they also have their own backstories. So it makes me feel a little more connected and understanding that everyone has a story, everyone has a place. And so, seeing a vastness in something like Star Wars or Ghostbusters reminds me of the vastness of the world I live in.
That story was produced by myself and KERA's Therese Powell. To see photos of our trip to Fan Expo, head on over to keranews.org/arts. North Texas Soccer Club lost their game against the St. Louis City 2 last night, breaking their on-the-road winning streak with a final score of 2-0. Before last night, the team maintained a 4-game winning streak. Let's hope they can find redemption against Austin FC 2 next week. From country to hip-hop, there's a concert for nearly every music taste as we gear up for the weekend. Tonight, Lil Baby pulls through the American Airlines Center, featuring Dallas's own Big X The Plug. And tomorrow, the Texas Music Revolution Festival kicks off in downtown McKinney, with headliners Flatland Cavalry and Dawes taking the stage. Find more information and some other fun things to do on our Go See DFW calendar at keranews.org/calendar. Thanks so much for listening to Wake Up with KERA News. I'm your host, Andrew Garcia. This show is produced and edited by Shardae White and Bekah Morr. For some more news in your inbox, visit kera.org/wakeup. That's where you can subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA News newsletter and get some good morning vibes from our colleague Catherine Hobbs. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at KERATX. Take a deep breath because it's nearly Friday. We'll see you tomorrow.